In March 2026, Ghana led a UN resolution that identified transatlantic slave trade as the gravest crime against humanity, led by the Ghana President John Dramani Mahama. On behalf of the African and Caribbean countries, the resolution called for reparation, peace, restitution, justice, and compensation. And then Kemi Badenoch came out to say that the UK is not supposed to be part of this because they helped fight to end slavery.
There are many countries now who want to use guilt to try and exploit the UK. They ask for reparations. I saw it as a trade minister. It's not culture wars. I was at the WTO. I won't name the minister from another country. And he was telling me that we needed to give up some of the things that we were doing because of colonialism and because they needed time to develop. These arguments are a scam. Don't fall for it. We need to make sure that we put this country first. We work well with our neighbors. We work well with other countries, but we have to look after ourselves too.
She said the UK isn't part of it, that UK helped to eradicate slavery and should be part of this equation. And then she received backlash from African leaders. I mean, she said a lot and others responded. But right now, guess what the Reform UK wants to do to those that are demanding reparations from Britain? They want to stop them from coming to the UK. Yes, you heard that right, family. For those who are demanding reparations from Britain, Britain is saying we weren't part of the slavery. Although the response that was given to Kemi Badenoch was that you guys were in part, but these other guys that did involve themselves in slavery, in selling us out, they were paid, they were given money, they were given things. Why not compensate us? These guys were compensated. The slave owners were compensated. Those who involved in these were compensated. But we, the descendants of the enslaved, those who were directly enslaved, nothing was done to compensate us. But Britain sees these as an insult. Asking reparations from Britain, from the Great Britain, is an insult. We weren't part of these at any point in time. And now this is what they are saying, that if you are part of these countries, which we're going to be checking out,
Reform UK would block visas from anyone from countries which have demanded reparations over slavery. This would halt legal migration from 17 countries that are calling for financial compensation over Britain's role in the slave trade. The ban would block people from getting work, study and temporary visas. Reform Zia Yusuf has said the bank is closed and the door is locked for anyone who wanted to use history as a weapon to drain our treasury. So which 17 countries would be affected? African nations Nigeria, Kenya and Ghana are among the countries which have called for compensation, as well as 11 Caribbean countries including the Bahamas, Barbados and Jamaica. Reform's announcement comes as the government and the royal family face pressure to agree to talks on reparations. Experts have estimated these would amount to trillions of pounds. Starmer previously rejected reparations when meeting Caribbean nations at the Commonwealth Summit in 2024. King Charles has never commented or made any formal apology for the slave trade on behalf of the UK, but he did make a speech conveying his greater sorrow and regret at colonial wrongdoings during a visit to Kenya in 2023.
You won't be allowed into the UK. Reform UK threatens to deny visas to citizens of countries demanding reparations. Nigel Farage, Reform UK, said it was proposing to deny visas to people from countries seeking amends for transatlantic slavery, a move swiftly condemned by the Caribbean Reparations Commission as a legacy of toxic racism. The anti-immigration and populist party Reform UK, which has only 8 national lawmakers but is topping opinion polls ahead of an election in Britain due by 2029, said it would block visa requests from any country that demands slavery reparations, which include Commonwealth countries of Britain's former empire, such as Ghana and Jamaica. Zia Yusuf, Reform's policy chief for Home Affairs, said reparations calls were insulting, as they ignored the fact that Britain made huge sacrifices to be the first major power to outlaw slavery and enforce this prohibition. Caribbean Community, CARICOM Group of Nations, the African Union Bloc, and several Latin American countries have called for reparations, not only for historical injustices, but for their lasting impact, including racial disparities and economic underdevelopment. Long-standing calls for reparations, including formal apologies, financial compensation, and the return of soul artifacts have gained momentum in recent years, though backlash is also growing. Several Western leaders have opposed even discussing the subject, arguing that today's states and institutions should not be held responsible for the past. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer said he would like to look forward rather than having endless discussions about reparations on the past. So, family, what the Reform UK is saying is that they would stop anyone from these countries, the CARICOM countries or the African Union bloc, demanding reparations from Britain. That is because it is insulting to Britain. Britain had no part in the slavery thing, in the colonization thing. Family, what do you have to say about this story? Demanding reparation is now trouble for them. I mean, they enjoyed all the benefits that came from it, but they do not want to pay for all the things they did to African countries. Can you imagine? So they are saying, as funny as it sounds, that if you are from these countries, from Ghana, from Jamaica, from Nigeria, and you were demanding reparations, we would deny your visa. So family, what do you have to say about this? Everyone is denying ever being involved. Everyone is denying what happened in the past. Everyone is denying pain, the justice, the compensation. But they forget that they were partakers of this, of the national cake, of what their forefathers did. Because the resources, the natural resources, the human labor that help build some of these countries. And now they say this. So what do you have to say about the story, family? The UK Reform Party is saying that if you are from these Caribbean countries or African Union bloc demanding reparations, you wouldn't be allowed into the UK. Comment your thoughts and do not forget to share, like, subscribe, and turn on your notification button. My name is Lynient Akotonou.